Alright, let's talk about Jameson Williams, a guy who only has one career catch to his name, actually only two career touches, both of them over 40 yards, amazingly enough, and a guy who's going to be suspended for the first 6 games of the following season for betting on a game that wasn't an NFL game, but in an NFL facility. But he was also a top half of the first round receiver who the Lions traded up pretty highly to go and grab. So let's talk about what they see in him, kind of how we view him as someone who hasn't done a ton so far in his career, but definitely has potential, was my favorite receiver out of the draft class. So let's talk about what he can potentially do. So first, we're going to start off with this play. It's going to be a play action that the Lions are running, and that's going to try to get players out of position for Chicago, as Williams' route is going over the middle, and hopefully with the players who were supposed to cover over the middle now moving further in, he could potentially get open. As you see right when this play begins, I think he does a pretty good job of right when he cuts. Again, he is so explosive that he is able to run and get a pretty good amount of separation right here. This is a good win from Williams. Is it the highest degree of difficulty play? No, it isn't. But again, that's fine. What you want to see out of your young players isn't just to be able to make superstar-style plays, but really just to be able to do the simple stuff, which Williams so far has done here. However, you might be wondering, wait a second, you said he only had one catch and that one was for over 40 yards. Is he going to make this catch and then, break a few tackles and then, run all the way down the field for a touchdown? Is one of the other Lions players currently committing a penalty, which will have this play get called back? No, none of that is going to be the case. Watch what happens. Goff's throw is a bit behind and it ends up falling incomplete. That was a bit behind, but I think still a catchable football that Williams was not able to haul in. The reality is, I don't know exactly what this was, but there were some drop issues with Jameson Williams that I didn't really see in college. I don't remember seeing it anyways. I could go back and look at some of the, watch some tape again and see if that was the case. But the reality is, at the NFL level, there were some drops. Like, I think about this play as an example of it's just going to be, it's really just a screen pass. Very simple. The completion part of this play should be obvious, right? That should be the easy part of the play. It's then, can guys get down the field to block, and can Williams' speed be good enough to, get down the field? And it makes sense, I think, to run a play like this because you do have a guy like Jameson Williams who is so explosive. Using him in this way, to me, makes total sense. However, as you see, Jared Goff is going to take the snap. He is going to throw it to Williams, who just drops the football. So again, we saw such a small sample size with Jameson Williams that pointing out a couple of drops really isn't that big of a deal, but of course, due to the small sample size, it now means that a decent chunk of his snaps were him dropping the football when he was targeted. So that's not to say that he will, consistently drop the ball or anything like that. It's just to say that it's a bit of a disappointment when, you had only 9 targets and a few of them were drops. It makes it look a little worse. But let's go over to the positives, why don't we? Let's start off with this play. So it's going to be what's essentially, it's not exactly a jet sweep, but you're going to hand it off to the running back, who's then going to flip it back to Williams. It's almost set up like a Philly special, actually, but it's going to be a running play, not a passing play. Goff is not going out to, get a handoff. He's actually going out to block, weirdly. But anyway, that's the way this play is designed to work. And so, as you see, the handoff is good, the pitch back to Williams is good, and the blocking is good. Williams has plenty of room to run, and this is where you're going to see kind of the speed of Williams, come into play here. Watch, as you see, I guess the one critique you could have is maybe he took a weird angle right there and maybe could have gotten a touchdown, wasn't able to do so, but still got 40 yards on that play. Earlier, I said every touch was over 40 yards. That one was actually exactly 40 yards, so sorry for lying there. But that's kind of what, what I think Jameson Williams can do is, get the ball in his hands and good things can happen, right? He's a unique athlete, so you want to make sure that you take advantage of his athleticism, and that's what the Lions did on a play like this, and it's what I think that they're going to try and continue to do throughout this this next season once he comes back, because again, he's not going to be there for the beginning of the season. But once he comes back, I'm sure this is going to be a part of their offense. You also had let's talk about his one catch, why don't we? Hey, I mean, it was a good play from him, although I do have to be honest, to me this was more bad defense than it was good offense. So the way this play is designed to work is there's a single safety deep right here. It's a cover 3 zone that the Vikings are currently in. And so, okay, for the safety, you see Williams' route, which is a deep route. There's also going to be another route that's kind of over the middle. And typically the idea is basically for a quarterback, you throw it to whichever way the safety doesn't go. If the safety stays deep, then you throw it over the middle. If the safety runs over the middle, you throw it deep. Usually the safety stays deep. That's just what you're supposed to do there. But watch as you see when this play begins, you're going to notice that really no one picks up Williams. I mean, the corner kind of just said, okay, I have safety help. I'm just going to let, the safety pick up Williams. For some reason, the safety's not doing that. I don't know why. I don't know if he just completely misread this play or what. And maybe he thought this was a different coverage altogether. I don't know. But this is a complete blown coverage. And for Williams, really, he was supposed to just be running a setup route more than anything right here. But hey, when you're in a situation where good things happen, we'll take advantage. Goff, to his credit, notices that and throws to a wide open Jameson Williams, who gets into the end zone for a touchdown. Is there an element of luck to that play? Yes, there is. But you also make your own luck to some degree, and I think that's what Williams did on that play as well, was he was able to, make something happen. And again, his speed kind of, maybe if he wasn't as quick and wasn't as fast getting down there, maybe the safety doesn't notice it as quickly. I think I said that weird. I used too many negatives. What I mean to say is that if he was slower in getting down there, the safety would have had more time to make the correct read, is what I'm trying to say. Sorry for saying it very weirdly. Let's move on. Because also going over here, listen, just because you don't catch the ball doesn't mean you're not also making an impact and running good routes at times as well. And again, one thing that has to be mentioned with Williams is how his speed sets stuff up. It's not just that he's a fast guy. I mean, he got those Jalen Waddle comparisons and those Tyreek Hill comparisons because of not just his speed, but the way he can move. And this is going to be a good example of it, where, again, there is safety help right here. It's a one-on-one matchup, but, you have safety help. So, okay, getting burned deep shouldn't be that big of a concern. However, you see for Williams, he gets a clean release at the line, and if you're a corner, well, yeah, you're going to have to turn your back in this spot because Williams is past you, and he's so fast that if you, try to look back at the ball, you're just going to completely lose him right here, and this is where Williams can really thrive. So as you see, when he cuts, he does get open. There was a window. Now, pressure came a little bit early on that play, and really, Goff, I think maybe he just thought that the cut was going to be a little bit earlier. That might have been more of a communication thing than anything else. The throw was just not there. It might have been just a communication issue. But as a whole, these are the kind of things that I feel like Williams is capable of, and it's really exciting to see, what happens once we get more of him and maybe, a fully healthy Williams. Yes, he's going to have to sit out for a month and a half to start the year, which does suck. But you know what? He will at least get a full training camp. This way, you do get preseason and that stuff. When you're suspended, you're just not allowed to go to the facility once week 1 starts. So you're okay there. And I think that could really help him and really help kind of integrate him into the offense, I would think. Now, as a whole, I think Jameson Williams is a, very unique prospect. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what he does the rest of the way. At least that's what I think. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.